Good afternoon, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jesse Hawila. We want to give you a special update on this upcoming winter storm. All of North Texas has been upgraded to a winter storm warning. We have a WFAA weather alert in effect for Friday afternoon through Monday morning. That's really the bulk of when this winter storm hits. So we'll start with rain on Friday. We'll eventually transition to a wintry mix late Friday night and overnight. Icy roads are expected with this. Very cold temperatures, power outages are possible. Please stay updated all week. Remember the 4 Ps, people, pets, pipes, and plants. Download WFAA Plus to your TV. Here it is, winter storm warning for all of North Texas. Every county in our area is included in this. Accumulations of freezing rain, sleet, and snow, those are likely. Slick roads are expected, bridges and overpasses, even main roads. Power outages cannot be ruled out in some areas that get a little bit more freezing rain than others. It's not widespread power outage potential like we saw back in 2021, but there will be some areas that see it. We have cloudy skies here tonight. That stays in the forecast through the overnight. This is 7 p.m. Watch Timecast. I'm going to run through the timing for you here because it's so crucial. Whenever we drop to 32 degrees, that's when conditions will rapidly deteriorate. But most of Friday, I would say all of Friday at this point, it's just cool and rainy. This is 7 o'clock in the morning on Friday. Scattered light rain is in the forecast for all of North Texas. This is noon. Scattered rain showers will continue into the afternoon. This is 3 p.m. Then as we get into the evening, you start to see the freezing rain develop northwest of our area toward Wichita Falls. You're looking at 7 p.m. on Friday. It's just rain shower activity here in North Texas. That's it. So rain showers will continue. That's as we get into 10 p.m. on Friday. You see the rain starting to transition to a wintry mix in our northwestern counties, including Montague County and Cook County and along the Red River by midnight. Then it starts to shift into the Metroplex. By 3 o'clock in the morning, that's when we have freezing rain, some sleet in the area, still mixed with rain, so it's a little bit of a mess. And I think by the time we get to daybreak, I-20 and north, it's freezing rain and sleet. And then south, it's still rain. Okay, Corsicana, Hillsboro, you're still dealing with rain at 5 o'clock in the morning. Then as we go through all of Saturday, that transition will continue to move south. We'll have periods of freezing rain, sleet, and eventually snow on the backside of this getting into Sunday morning. So all of Saturday will start off with a wintry mix and it'll just last all day long before this system finally moves out of the area by midday on Sunday. About 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch of freezing rain is expected, and that's significant. That will cause some travel disruptions for sure. Bridges and overpasses, number one. Even main roads could ice over with this. This is Friday night through Sunday morning. 2 to 4 inches of sleet and snow for the Dallas-Fort Worth area, a little bit higher total along the Red River, and then south of the Metroplex, 1 to 2 inches of mainly sleet with just a little bit of snow. So the onset of travel impacts with slippery road potential starts from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. from Sherman over to Bowie, 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning for the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and this stripe of lighter blue, and then as we get into that deeper blue, you're going to have to wait until later in the morning to start to see a little bit bit of icy road potential down toward Corsicana, Hillsborough, and Athens. That's where it gets a little bit tricky, and then it'll last a little while. As we look at temperatures below freezing, we have a high temperature of only 28 on Saturday. 22, that's your high on Sunday, and Monday stays at or below freezing. And then finally by 11 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, we breach freezing. So I do expect slick travel as we go through not only this weekend, but the beginning of next week. And we'll start to see conditions improve much more dramatically by Tuesday afternoon, with high temperatures climbing to about 40 degrees. So things will eventually improve, but in the meantime, we have to deal with this weekend. And then the other thing before I let you go, the dangerous cold and extreme cold warning is now in place for all of North Texas. Wind chills of 5 to 10 degrees below zero Sunday and Monday morning, with low temperatures in the single digits to around 10 degrees. So again, it's not only the wintry weather we're dealing with this weekend, but the extreme cold that's coming through the end of the weekend and beginning of next week. Listen, I want you to join me over on WFAA Plus. It's a smart TV app that you can download to your TV directly, and I'm going to be doing more winter weather coverage there right now, but I want to toss it over to Pete. He's going to tell you how to get WFAA Plus on your TV.
Winter storm's on its way. We've issued a WFAA weather alert day Friday night right through Saturday night into the day on Sunday. I'm talking accumulating sleet, snow, and freezing rain. Could be a very interesting, could be a very snowy, could be a little icy weekend. So if you want to stay up to date, and you need to this weekend, because there's a lot going on. It could get a little dangerous this Saturday and Sunday. So you need to stay updated. And the best way to do that is the WFAA Plus app. It's on your smart TV. I downloaded it on my smart TV. If I can do it, you can do it too. Download that WFAA app on your smart TV. It'll be right there on your home screen. Press that button and boom, it is like magic. It is there, and that's where we're going to be.
All weekend long, we're going to be here. We will walk you through this sleet, snow, freezing rain, the Arctic air, the cold temps. We'll be here all weekend long. You need to do the same. And don't forget, it's free. It's WFAA Plus.
Hello everybody, I'm meteorologist Jesse Hawila. Thanks for joining us here on WFAA Plus for an extended update on what we're expecting as we go through this upcoming weekend. A winter storm warning is now in place for all of North Texas, and a WFAA weather alert. From Friday afternoon through Monday morning, we expect impactful conditions to start setting in. Now Friday, all you should be thinking about is rain and chilly temperatures, okay? The rain eventually will transition to a wintry mix. Right now, that looks to be much later in the night. I think closer to midnight for our northwestern counties, Montague, Young, Cook, and then eventually moving into the Metroplex closer to 3 o'clock in the morning. So rain to a wintry mix, icy roads are expected. as we get into this weekend. Very cold temperatures. Power outages can't be ruled out, okay? I'm not trying to scare you or anything like that. It's not like a 2021 situation where rolling blackouts are expected. It's more of a localized power outages cannot be ruled out because of some freezing rain. Stay updated all week. Remember the 4 Ps: people, pets, pipes, and plants. We want to make sure you have that covered, and of course WFAA Plus. Keep it here as we bring you the latest. So winter storm warning is now in place for all of North Texas because we have accumulations of freezing rain, sleet, and snow. Slick roads, bridges, overpasses, even main roads could get slippery, and power outages cannot be ruled out because of the incoming chance of freezing rain and sleet. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run you through the timeline of when we expect rain to transition to the wintry mix of sleet, snow, and freezing rain. We'll talk about travel impacts, how cold we're going to get, and a new extreme cold warning that was issued. I'm going to get to that in just a minute, but what I would like to do first is toss it out to Fort Worth. They're giving a presser on what they're doing to prep for this upcoming winter storm.
So how do you do that? Do things like charge your devices, have blankets ready, flashlights, essential supplies. Check on your neighbors. That's what we're good about in Fort Worth. That's what we're good about in Texas, especially your seniors and those who might have medical needs. Supporting our vulnerable populations is very critical in this time. We're protecting our most vulnerable residents as a top priority. For individuals that are experiencing homelessness, emergency overnight shelters will be activated beginning Friday evening. Outreach teams that include police, fire, our nonprofit partners, they are actively sharing cold weather information, shelter information, and transportation options to those that are experiencing homelessness. If you see someone, we're asking for the help from the public, if you see someone who appears to be in distress or is at risk due to the cold, please call 911. We want to get them the help that they deserve. For pets and animals, animal care and controls adjusting our operations due to the weather. Residents with concerns about outdoor pets also should contact the city for assistance as soon as possible. For city services and operations, some city services and facilities will be closed or operating with limited staffing as the conditions worsen, that includes our community centers, our animal shelters, drop-off stations for refuse and environmental collection services. All of those types of decisions are being made with employee safety as number one, public safety as number one. We have to think about that first. We'll clearly communicate those as we make those decisions. So how should the public stay informed? This is a rapidly changing situation, as you've heard. Just in the last hour or so, it's been updated to extreme cold warnings, and we also have extreme winter storm warnings. So we want the community to stay informed. We ask our residents to monitor this official City of Fort Worth communication channels. We also ask them to follow updates from our partners like Trinity Metro, Encore, TxDOT, Atmos, etc. The last thing I might mention about information is try to avoid the rumors and misinformation. Use only trusted official sources. So in closing, I want to be very clear. The storm has the potential to be a long, cold, disruptive event, but preparation, as we have been doing and as our community can do in the next 24 hours, and the cooperation to stay off the roads, all of that makes a real difference. So please stay home if you can, reduce travel, check on your families and neighbors, and those who may need help. Give crews the space they need to do their jobs safely. So we're prepared, we're coordinated, and we'll continue to provide updates as the conditions change.
All right, that's great information, truly. Stay home if you can this weekend. Be a good weekend to just stay inside, watch movies or whatever, because it's just messy. Regardless of the slippery roads, which we do expect, we're going to have on and off freezing rain and sleet. It's just kind of a nasty, very cold weekend ahead. I'm going to get more to the cold here in just a second. Let me run you through the timeline of what to expect with the rain transitioning to a wintry mix. Listen, it's a lot to digest because it changes. Like when we go through this timeline, you're going to see the changes occur. So hour by hour is going to be different for everybody. So I really want you to watch this map here because wherever you live, let's say you live in Waxahachie, what we expect for you is going to be a lot different timing-wise than what we expect for Bowie. Kind of get the idea there. So Friday, though, North Texas should think about one thing, and that is a cold rain. Not freezing rain, not sleet, not snow, but rain. This is shower activity. The green is just rain. So some scattered rain through the afternoon. That's it. Just some on and off rain, just cold. But you see what's happening here. See this area of pink? That's the transition to sleet and the transition first to freezing rain. This is 10 p.m. You start to see that transition for Clarksville and Paris, Bonham, over to parts of Montague County and out toward Albany. Let's get to midnight. See how it starts to creep into US 380? Okay, US 380 runs from Greenville, McKinney, Denton, Decatur, right here. So north of that, up to the Red River, that's where we start to see sleet and freezing rain. Okay, still rain though for the Metroplex. By 3 o'clock in the morning, the cold air continues to shove farther south. So by 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, the I-20 corridor and north, that's when we start thinking freezing rain potential starts to overspread. That'll continue to shift farther to the south as we go throughout the day on Saturday. This is 5 o'clock in the morning, freezing rain and sleet for the northern half of North Texas. 8 o'clock in the morning, most of North Texas. Areas like Navarro County and Henderson counties may hold on to the rain just a tad longer, but certainly by midday, you're back into the chance of freezing rain. There's noon. Widespread freezing rain, widespread sleet is in the forecast. Kids, especially, not much snow with this. Maybe on the backside of the system, but this is not the beautiful winter wonderland that you might want. This is more the treacherous travel, tricky tree limbs and power line situation. It's not really that, it's not something you want to go out sledding in. This is 7 p.m. We'll have sleet, some freezing rain continuing. This is 11 p.m. See this? This area of white here is snow. That's when you start to see the transition to a little bit of snow shower activity on the backside. But in the meantime, even at 11 o'clock, widespread sleet and freezing rain will continue. And then eventually it transitions to a period of snow early Sunday morning before moving out. And then Sunday afternoon is dry. We'll see maybe a peak of sun Sunday afternoon, but that's not going to do much. It's really cold. 1/4 to 1/2 inch of freezing rain, ice accumulation for all of North Texas. Slightly higher totals out toward the Arklatex, lower totals down toward Waco. We look at the sleet and snow accumulation. 2 to 4 inches of sleet and snow. That's a mess for the Dallas-Fort Worth area. 3 to 5 inches of sleet and snow to the Red River. Mostly sleet and freezing rain south of this line. So Waxahachie, you look at Hillsboro, Corsicana, Athens, you're going to get a lot of sleet, 1 to 2 inches. Now, timing out the impacts. I think the roads start to get a little bit slippery, bridges and overpasses by 10 to 2 o'clock in the morning. This is late Friday night into early Saturday morning. Looking at Gainesville and Bowie, 3 to 6 a.m. for the Dallas-Fort Worth area up to Paris and over to Breckenridge and Eastland. This swath here through daybreak. After daybreak, closer to 10 o'clock in the morning, Corsicana, Athens, Hillsboro, that'll be your chance to transition to some slick bridges and overpasses, and then it just gets worse. Okay, conditions will just get more slippery as we get through late morning Saturday and really all Saturday afternoon, all Saturday night, even into Sunday morning. And it doesn't get much better because high temperatures will stay at or below freezing for an extended period of time. The latest forecast, I don't think we're getting to freezing on Monday. I think we get above freezing Tuesday by 11 o'clock in the morning. So Saturday, Sunday, even Monday's high temperatures will be 32 degrees or colder. That's a period of 79 hours below freezing. So what does that mean for you? Think of it this way. Conditions start to deteriorate Saturday, right? Saturday, whatever's falling is just going to stick around. Okay, the sleet is a lot harder to melt, by the way, than snow. Sunday, 22 for a high. The ice isn't going anywhere. Monday, we'll stay at 32 or less. Tuesday, we just get above freezing with sunshine. So, I can't tell you school's going to close Monday. It's not my position to tell you that, but it's highly likely we're not having school Monday or Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon, sun starts to do a little bit of work. I think we're up to 40 degrees by the afternoon. That will help a little bit. So we will start to see conditions improve on roads by Tuesday afternoon, but I expect the weekend, Monday and most of Tuesday, to have some slippery travel. And then the other part of this equation is how cold it's going to get Saturday night. So this is Sunday morning and Monday morning. Low temperatures will be in the single digits and teens. Wind chills will be 5 to 10 degrees below zero. So we have an extreme cold warning in place all the way through Monday morning. So not only do we have the extreme cold, we have the tricky travel this weekend and early next week. So I want to get over to Stacia Wilson for an update on how things are being prepared here in North Texas. Stacia.
Yeah, Jesse. Well, one good thing, if there's anything good about this, is that it's happening primarily over a weekend. So I think that's going to allow for a lot of people to stay home. But regardless, TxDOT as well as NTTA, they have been out and about 12-hour shifts laying down brine. They say they've covered about 6,000 lane miles that they need to cover. So that would be coming from TxDOT. They've got around 6,000 miles of ground to cover. And we know that NTTA has been actively treating those bridges and overpasses and even has sensors in the road to check for the temperature and the moisture on the interstates and these highways, these tollways. So something to keep in mind if you absolutely do have to venture out, as we've been saying though for the past few days, the best thing to do if you can, stay home. Looking at I-35E at Wycliffe, one thing I did notice coming into work late this morning, early this afternoon, it definitely seems a little bit heavier out there as far as traffic is concerned. I think a lot of folks are trying to get those errands out of the way. If you are heading out right now, we have an accident, 35E northbound at Walnut Hill. This is affecting northwest Dallas, and traffic is slow moving behind it. I can show you that back up. Here's a look along I-35E northbound at Manana. You can see that traffic is slow moving there too. So if you are heading out right now, here's a look at the rest of that traffic map. You can see quite a bit of red on it, including in downtown Dallas. Parts of Central Expressway already starting to pick up for that afternoon rush. My point is, I think you're going to see that afternoon rush hit a little bit earlier today, just because people are trying to get everything done before the storm hits. I-38 Dal Rock, heavier traffic than we're seeing a little bit earlier along I-30 and those eastbound lanes as people are heading home. Here's a look at that, slower over the bridge there. Now, one thing to keep in mind, I've got to go ahead and just mention this, of course, slow down if you absolutely have to go out. This is these are good things to remember. Increase that following distance, at least 8 to 10 seconds behind other vehicles, which may sound like a lot, but if it's icy and you can't stop, that's going to go by real quick. Accelerate and brake gently. Sudden moves can cause a loss of traction. And of course, avoid those bridges and overpasses. I wouldn't be surprised, depending on how the situation develops over the weekend, if we see some of those start to shut down. That's what happened the last time we had a big freeze like this. And today and tomorrow, when you see those road crews out and about, be sure to give them plenty of distance as well. All right, Jesse.
All right, thank you very much for that. Great information, Stacia. So again, we have our WFAA weather alert that's in effect Friday afternoon through Monday morning. Sleet, freezing rain, it's all in the forecasts. That means icy roads are expected. Very cold temperatures too. Power outages, they are possible. Listen, I just want to tell you this. I've seen it all on social media. I really have. Doomsday and all of this. Yes, this is going to be an unpleasant weekend and an early start to next week. This is not like 2021 in the sense where the entire state is going to be under a winter storm warning. And we do expect this, which is localized power outages. Okay, we'll be monitoring the situation very carefully, but because of the freezing rain, localized power outages are possible. We're not expecting those widespread statewide blackouts like we saw in 2021. Despite what you read on social media. But we're going to keep an eye on all of this. You need to stay updated all week and weekend. Remember the 4 Ps, please. You have time to prepare. We've been talking about this since last weekend. People, pets, pipes, and plants. And of course, keep it here for WFAA Plus. Now, we have the winter storm warning that went in effect this afternoon. We'll keep that through Sunday morning. It's all of North Texas included in this. Accumulating freezing rain, sleet and snow, slick roads, bridges and overpasses, power outages. Again, not out of the question as we get into this weekend. We're going to watch that carefully. But with the winter storm warning that has been put in place for all of North Texas, North Texans are responding. We've seen this all week long, and I want to get it out to Richard Solomon, who's at a grocery store. Richard, how are people behaving? How are things doing?
Well, Jesse, you just mentioned the 5 Ps and preparing, I think this is one of the most important ones as we are getting ready and bracing for this winter storm that we're expecting. So right now we're in Kroger. We're at a location in North Richland Hills, about 40 minutes away from Dallas, and this is really go time for these grocery stores. I want to swing over here and show you this real fast. This is what you can expect to see, probably worse if you do come later on this evening as grocery stores are preparing. You can see a bunch of carts full to the top almost with some of the essential items. And I spoke with the spokesperson here with Kroger. Some of the hot items that are flying off the shelves right here. You got your water, milk, bread, lunch meat, think eggs, things that'll keep you safe and hunkered down if you have to stay inside for a while. And if you do come out to grocery stores, you could run into something like this where some of the racks are a little bare. I'm told do not worry. They have crews working to refill these racks all day long. Trucks are leaving the distribution center almost nightly, heading out to stores, locations across Dallas-Fort Worth. I am told there are about 100 Kroger locations here in the Metroplex. So they're making sure all are stocked, and we have everything that we need as we prepare for that winter storm. So again, if you are planning to come out tonight, you want to get here probably as soon as you can. Expect long wait times as we get deeper into the evening. I'm told tomorrow before that weather rolls in is really going to be peak time here. Really for the last several days, they've seen an influx of customers. And to handle that, they've also beefed up staff here. You'll see a lot, many more staff members here, making sure that you have everything you need and making sure all the items are stocked on the shelves. So again, buy yourself some time, get here to the grocery store. And another important P, don't procrastinate if you don't have to. For now, live in North Richland Hills this afternoon, I'm Richard Solomon. Jesse?
Thank you, Richard. I'm glad to see it's not so bad so far, so I guess you got a little bit of time. And remember, essentials. That doesn't mean 25 rolls of toilet paper. Just get what you need for 4 days. It's not like we're shutting down for 28 days. Just 4 days. Things are going to get a little dicey here in North Texas. And I want to run you through that timeline one more time before we go. Thursday night, that's tonight, we're quiet, just cloudy. Overnight, we'll start to see some sprinkles develop. This is Friday morning at 7. Friday is a day of rain. It's not a wintry day. Friday is just rain, so you still have time to prepare. It's a cold rain, though, as we stay in the 40s and temperatures start to drop. So this is 7 o'clock in the morning. Now, as we get into midday, you see the scattered rain getting a little bit more widespread by the afternoon. This is 3 p.m. This is 7. Showers, they'll continue throughout Friday night, but there it is. The pink shaded area, if you look at our legend here, that's a mix of freezing rain and a little bit of sleet. 10 p.m., it's along the Red River in our far northwestern counties. That'll continue to sink farther and farther to the south as we go throughout the overnight Friday into Saturday morning. 3 a.m., Dallas-Fort Worth, along I-20, north, freezing rain, sleet. So conditions will, again, deteriorate as we go through the overnight Friday and then really throughout the day Saturday. It just gets worse and worse. So the best it will get is Saturday morning. That's as good as it's going to be, and that's not great because as you look, this is 8 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning Saturday. Watch here, 8 a.m., noon, 3 p.m., 7. There's a chance that we're going to have all day widespread freezing rain, sleet. That'll continue into the evening. This is 11 p.m. It's still going on. Then as we get onto the backside of the system, we'll start to introduce a little bit of snow. So this white shaded area, that is snow. It's not going to be a lot of snow, guys. It's mainly freezing rain and sleet. 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch of freezing rain is expected for all of North Texas starting late Friday night through Sunday morning. That's why we have that chance for some isolated power outages that we will be monitoring very closely. And then in terms of snow and sleet, 2 to 4 inches of snow and sleet. A lot of that will just be sleet. Okay, for the Dallas-Fort Worth area, a little bit more snow, but still lots of sleet along the Red River, and that will continue through early Sunday morning. Travel becomes more treacherous after midnight for the lightest shaded blue here. 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning for the Dallas-Fort Worth area. This is when roads will start to become slippery. It'll start with bridges and overpasses and then just get worse throughout the day on Saturday. It'll linger a little, take a little bit longer southeast of the Metroplex, Athens and Corsicana and Hillsborough. Really late morning is when things start to get a little bit worse. Okay, I'm going to leave you with this. As you look at the temperature staying below freezing, it lasts all the way through Tuesday late morning. We fall to freezing at about 4 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, Saturday morning. Saturday just stays at 28, 22 on Sunday. 11 o'clock in the morning, 33. That's when we break 32 degrees. So 32 is the magic number. It looks like we're going to stay at or below freezing for 79 hours through this event. That means the conditions will not get any better until we get above freezing. Tuesday afternoon especially will start to chip away at some of the ice and some of the sleet that's left here at the surface. And then it's going to get really cold too. Look how cold it gets. You see this? This is an extreme cold warning that's in effect for all of North Texas. Wind chills will be 5 to 10 degrees below zero with overnight lows Saturday and Sunday. So that means Sunday and Monday morning, you should expect wind chills 5 to 10 degrees below zero and low temperatures in the single digits for many in North Texas. We have a very busy weekend ahead of us here. All of us are prepared for it. We're going to keep watching the latest data, and every time we have an update for you, we will bring it for you here live on WFAA+. Y'all take care this weekend. We will see you soon.